Very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to this midweek edition of Sports This Morning. So good to be back on the show, and thank you for staying with us. My name is Tony Ibitoye. Yemi Adebayo is my partner on the program this midweek, and together for the next 25 minutes we will be talking about football, of course, grassroots, Super Eagles, Nigerian Football Federation, the Falcons, Nigerian Premier League, so much to talk about, and of course UEFA Champions League.
That's the biggest thing on the planet.
Of course, UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, biggest thing on the planet. I know we're good. Still going to talk about it later.
Leg of the semi-final
Today's game as well. Europa games later on. It was interesting.
We'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, let me hold my thoughts for that.
Yeah, so that's what we have lined up for you on the program. Of course, along the way, as is our style on Sports This Morning, we will dash to the papers and find out what stories are making the headlines from the paper. So that's also part of what we have for you on the program this morning. We'll see what stories are dominating the front pages for prominence and for space, and we will also reflect on all of those as well. It's a very loaded show as always. But Yemi, let's start on a sober note, and that is as it affects falling Super Eagle. Let's start on that note. And of course, for those of you who follow the Super Eagles quite well, who know a lot about the in and the out of the Super Eagles, you will remember that today makes it exactly 1 year that Super Eagles defender, Olympic team, Olympic silver medalist.
The right back
at the Olympic Games. A lot of you remember him now. Jersey number 13, Adefemi Olubayo. Today makes it exactly 1 year that he passed on. And we want to start this show by just remembering him. And of course,
his life and times.
His life, his time. I've not seen anybody say any bad thing about this guy, Adefemi Olubayo. That's it. Jersey number 13, very prominent. He was a key member of the Olympic Games for Nigeria.
Key member of the Super Eagles. Probably the only person apart from Chibuzo Okonkwo that has been able to make that right fullback their position, and probably his death, made the hole deeper.
It started with the Flying Eagles,
yes.
2005 in Holland. Then Olympics in 2008. Then he played a few games for the Eagles.
In the run-up to the World Cup qualifiers, didn't make the Nations Cup squad. I think he got back, played a game or two under Samson Siasia. And then the tragic incident happened. So surprising, because at some point a lot of people saw him as a person who could really, had a lot of zest in him, in the way he runs down the flanks. Offensively was very good. Defensively, 1 or 2 question marks, but it was somebody a lot of people wanted to see in that team. So unfortunately, it was a big loss for Nigeria, not just for his family, because it reduces the options we have in the team, and it just. Funny how time flies. It's just 1 year that this man has gone. I hope that this family will have the fortitude to bear the loss, because once again today, they will have to remember. Yeah,
they will remember. And in fact, that's why we're talking about it today, because the family will be doing a memorial service for him, 1 year memorial service for him at the cemetery in Yaba. That was where he was buried.
Yep.
They'll be doing that just to remember Adefemi Olubayo. And we, of course, on this program can only commiserate with the family, also with the Nigerian Football Federation on the loss of Adefemi Olubayo, and we pray that these things will be far from us. And once again, ask that the Lord is only God that can comfort a family that has lost a very
words are not enough.
Very important person.
Yes, words are not
enough. Words cannot do it. So
it's nothing to say. It's nothing to say.
The Lord be with the family and give them the grace to bear that loss. So it's 1 year now, but we still feel the pain deep down. All right. That's it for Olufemi starting the show off on that sober note. Let's come closer now to the grassroots and talk a little bit about Channels Kids Cup. Let's once again remind you of what Channels Kids Cup is all about. This is season 4. We'll take that promo, we'll come back, talk a little bit about it, and then we'll go into the other issues that we have lined up for you on Sports This Morning.
Come, watch as primary school kids in Lagos and beyond take center stage in season 4 of the Channels Kids Cup. Amazing skills, breathtaking moves, beautiful goals, plus all-round excitement. Be a part of history as the final comes up on May 27th in Lagos. For more information and inquiries, contact Joe on 0802 328 0264. Ola on 0803 477 4833. And Ken on 0803 726 4024. Channels Kids Cup, catching them young.
So that's it, Channels Kids Cup. Two members of the organizing committee, Dunodio Konta and Joe Hille, have said that forms are available now and they are not going to be available forever. So interested schools, we know the schools are on holidays now, but you can allow your games masters to come and pick up the form and show your intent to be part of season 4 of the Channels Kids Cup. And
you have to do it fast. Because,
do it fast, because
forms are running out.
A lot of schools outside of Lagos were told
you will be surprised. Yes, the calls that
and some of them said they are ready to foot their own bills just to be a part of it. A lot of academies in and out of Lagos said they have an academy for their under-13s that they will want to be a part.
It just shows
of the Channels Kids Cup.
How big this edition will be. The interest, a lot of people going to make themselves go through a lot of inconveniences just to be part of it. So it shows that this year's edition is going to be very, very big, huge and massive. And so those in Lagos who have filled themselves of the opportunity, because it's relatively easy for them now
to be a part of it.
All
right, so that's it for Channels Kids Cup. We'll continue to update you with this information as we go on. All right, let's go and talk about football at the center now, at the biggest stage here, and it has to do with the Nigerian Football Federation. Yemi, because of what has been happening in Kaduna, particularly in the north, a lot of the players are not showing that kind of interest to be playing their games in the north. And so the Nigerian Football Federation, we are told, are quietly looking around for alternate venues for the games in June. We have 2 big games in June.
Crucial games.
2 games at home, 1 away from home. And so they are already looking at, can we go back to Abuja? Do we go back to Calabar? Those are the options now that they are pondering upon, looking forward to June.
These guys will get praises for me for one thing. I think they've learnt one key lesson. When issues come up, don't be hasty in making statements. And I think I give them credit for that. They've not been
the NFF?
Yes, the NFF. They've not been hasty because I wouldn't like you to say something and withdraw it later. And they were studying the situation, they were looking at it, and they have decided that Kaduna cannot host the games because the security of lives and property is paramount, and we have to be sure that these guys would not play under the fear of their lives, which is more important than any football game. It's more important than qualifying for the Nations Cup. And I think
we've played in Kaduna. Some people are also arguing that we've played in Kaduna before.
Yes.
That was a friendly game that you've seen on your screen.
Against Zambia.
And that was Keshi's, one of the early games
of Stephen
Keshi. We played in Kaduna. It wasn't particularly lush green at that time. It was more of brown. That's the north. But then doesn't mean I shouldn't be green. We played there, so a lot of people are saying, why can't we go back there? That football is not exactly what these people are looking for. But at the same time, we need to also understand.
We need to balance it.
That there are no rules, as Tunde Koiki would always say, there are no rules of engagement in this one. You don't limit the damage to some certain places and feel that some certain places are secure.
Yeah.
So if the NFF, as they say, can get a guarantee from the Inspector General of Police, the acting IG, who interestingly was a former member of the board of the NFF, that will be key in helping us to play this game here. But if that is not coming, and investigations and reports are otherwise, then we'll probably begin to look for another place.
I think I agree with you on everything you've said, although I still maintain it's a very huge gamble. It's very huge. That's the generation next of Nigeria, the cream of the best, the best of the best.
Not just Nigeria now, people are coming from outside.
Yes, so I think we shouldn't just take that risk, although if guarantees can be given, but the only guarantee you can ever get is the one God gives. But it must be said that it can happen anywhere. It's not just in the north. It's only God that can. If God takes away his guarantees,
God will guarantee.
Yeah, God will guarantee. But what I'm just saying is that whichever place we're choosing, let's remember that security, we'll do our own part and pray that God does his own part. No place is secure under the sun unless God gives.
Our own part is what we're talking about now. Yes. Our own part is to really do proper investigation, a lot of intelligence work, and ensure that we can get that place secure. If we can guarantee that Kaduna will be okay, no problem.
Yes.
But if we cannot guarantee that will be okay, then maybe we'll look for somewhere else.
And I think they're probably looking at incidents in and around the game. It's not just on the pitch. You know, what if when the people are leaving, the crowd and everything. So, you know, probably they don't want any negative thing to be associated with either the build-up to the game or
the game itself, or after the game.
Or after the game. So I think that's why. But I think the police may be able to grant us, give us guarantees on match day. But what before the game, after the game, and that's too much of a gamble.
All right, so that's the issue around the Nigerian Football Federation looking for a different venues. Stephen Keshi has also come out to say that it's not shutting out foreign-based players. We've always said that. The reason why the home-based players are getting this attention is that some of these games,
available.
They are readily available. Some of these games are played outside of the official FIFA windows.
Yes.
And so it's a plus for us that we can get a team together to play games on such days. So
and not just find our hands folded.
Yeah, and still talking about foreign base, it's not just for the Super Eagles this time. It's also looking like that's going to be the application for the Falcons. Today, Kadri Rekana will be unveiled, and already Kadri says it will work more with the players at home, readily available, and it will only be looking at calling up maybe a few 5, 6, 7 foreign-based players to join up with the bulk of the team at home for games. And I think maybe that's in line with the new program that the Super Eagles are doing. It could also work for the Falcons.
It could, and I hope it doesn't backfire, because apart from the other aspects, you know, bringing in foreign pros will always cost you money. And you know, the NFF has always told us that they don't really have that huge amount. So if you can build the league, build whatever you need to, and invest in your local players, probably that could, you know, get you some mileage, that could take the burden off you, and make sure that, what I'm always saying is that just don't apply it wholesale. If you say that you're going to use home-based lads, make sure they're as good as their foreign counterparts. Yeah. If you're going to call just
there shouldn't be any kind of discrimination. Yes. Discrimination works both ways.
Yes.
You could be discriminating against foreign-based, you could be discriminating against the home-based.
If you say, okay, yes, I'm limiting my foreign quota to this amount, make sure that the other ones you're calling up to fill the quota are good, even better. You know, that's what will make it count. Like, just like the Super Eagles case we just mentioned, it's not a tea party. Those guys are there not just because they are home-based guys. They're there because they're good enough to play for the Super Eagles, even when the main guys come around. So if they're not good enough to play for the main team when the main guys come,
then there's no need.
There's no business.
Them in the team.
Yeah, so
sacrificing merit on the altar of whether you are based at home or abroad.
So that's the way it should be.
The girls have a very crucial game. In later this year against Zimbabwe is to qualify for the African Women's Championship. Remember, Nigeria, we are the defending champions, and we are going to be playing this tournament in Equatorial Guinea. That's an emerging force in women's football. So we want to wish Kadri Rekana will be unveiled in a couple of hours in Abuja, but the unveiling is just the honeymoon part of it. The real business is to get these girls back high on confidence,
get to work
back to winning ways,
and
then
our dominance has been challenged. And you know, this Equatorial Guinea is not a good hunting ground. I think
they've pulled the tail of the tiger.
Yeah,
we have to pounce.
There was a time we were there and we got our first ever bronze at the Women's Championship. So it's not really a good hunting ground for us. So we need to watch it.
All right, so that's it for the girls. We want to wish Kadri Rekana all the best of luck and let him know it's a different terrain. Although it's only Uche Okeria that has handled this team and has not handled the men's team before.
Yeah.
All right, so it's still the same line of bringing coaches who have handled the men's team before to the girls' team. So we want to wish him all the best of luck. All right, let's go to the papers. And we have just 3 papers for review, but the Complete Sports is available for you. And you can see on the front page of Complete Sports, Chelsea track Joel Obi. What's Chelsea with Super Eagles players? The other day was a Menike. The other time, it's they're just tracking Super Eagles players. It has to do with a certain Mike Emenalo, I'm sure.
Yeah, if it is true, because sometimes some these are just sensational.
Well,
news.
Transfers if it is are always like this.
Speculations, yeah. But
they somehow have elements of truth.
Yeah, and it is believable because we have a Nigerian on board.
Yeah.
It is believable. But, you know, some of these things, we would love to see it come true.
Yeah, and we're told in the Complete Sports, Inter startups Abramovich's list for next season. That's the front page of Complete Sports. We have other stories there. Eagles charter flight for 2014 World Cup tie. We're going to be playing Malawi in Blantyre, I think, in June. First game will be away. Then the other games will be at home. Joel Obi is being tracked. And, of course, the Eagles are also getting ready for that one. Foreign-based Eagles not shut out. That's
coming from Stephen Keshi.
Coming from Stephen Keshi, also on the front page of Complete Sports this morning. And then you have Sporting Live revenge. That's how the lead is. Chelsea against Barcelona. Will John Terry be able to keep this little man down? Wow, that's a massive game. Iniesta weary of Chelsea. Mikel, bring on Barca. Fabregas, Chelsea are ready. And Peter Cech, Messi is only human. And you have this one, foreign-based Eagles not shut out. That's Keshi. Doubts hang over Eagles Gabon friendly. We talked about this a long time ago. Eagles to charter flight for World Cup tie. Kaduna set for Eagles. It's also on the front page. And Ibra happy at AC Milan. Let's go to the last paper for review. And international soccer, you can be sure, Yemi, that this is the paper that a lot of people will go for.
Especially because of the games today.
Very colorful, and because of the games today. Well, there was a game yesterday, Bayern against Real. We'll talk about that later on. Chelsea against Barcelona. We will expose Barca. Well, if there's anything that can expose Barcelona, maybe Chelsea. Physicality, and now high on form, high in confidence.
On their good day.
On a good day.
On a rare, very rare.
Bad day.
Average outing for Barcelona. They don't have bad days. Average outing.
On an average day.
Yes.
On an average day.
On a day they just don't raise their game beyond the average. And Chelsea has an exceptionally
good game.
Yes.
So Chelsea at their utmost best. And Barcelona at their average.
At their average.
That's what can get a good result.
That's when they can.
Wow, win. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's how fantastic, how beautiful,
how good Barcelona is.
That's interesting. But payback time. Okay, that's the game played yesterday. And during the party, Edin Dzeko begs Modric to switch to Man City. You can read that up as well. And you have a whole lot of review of games played in the English Premier League. And of course, a preview of the Europa Cup. We have Atletico Madrid against Valencia. That's all Spanish semi-final. Sporting Lisbon against Athletic Bilbao as well. Tomorrow in the Europa League, Thursday, that's when semi-final games will be played. All right, so that's the much that we can take from the papers this morning. I'm sure you can get a copy of all of these and read up the details. Let's go straight to the Nigerian Premier League. Yemi, today in the Nigerian Premier League, there will be one rescheduled game. And it's a very, very crucial game for the defending champions, Dolphins. They are going to be playing in Bauchi against Wiki Tourist. Dolphins are joint top in the Nigerian Premier League. They are third based on goal difference. But if they can get a point of this game or get a win, they end the first round of the season on top.
Yeah, and it's very important for them because they need to get back to the CAF Champions League. Their coach has said that, and results like this, results like a victory or a draw will help them achieve that. And Dolphins really have the load taken off their shoulders now. They don't have assignments on the continent, as sad as it is, but now they can concentrate on the Premier League and probably get the results that will get them back playing in the Champions League next year, barring any unforeseen circumstances. So I do hope that Dolphins can, seize this opportunity, even though they're playing away, but get a victory or get a good result.
All right, so that's the game today. We'll keep our eyes on that game. And of course, if you are able to join us later tonight, we will be updating you with whatever happens in Bauchi. And then still Nigerian Premier League, bottom team, Rising Stars, are using this opportunity to plan for the second round. And one of the things they're doing is shake off a few dead woods, bring in a few lively ones, and see if they can still salvage something from this season.
Hopefully. If you're in this position, if you're in the position that Rising Stars are, you have cause to worry, and so usually these things happen. It's not news.
The season started on a high for them. They went to Shooting Stars, got a draw, played a couple of games away, got good results. I think they went to Lobby, got a draw as well, and then they were in the middle of the table. Suddenly they went on a 6-game losing streak.
The
and
slide.
Suddenly they are now bottom of the log.
It was a downward slide
to climb.
Yeah, they couldn't help it, and it just kept on going and going and going. Well, they have the next round to salvage. Now it's all about
and it's as quick as they can bounce back.
Yes, it's all about damage control now. It's all about damage control for them. I hope that they get to maintain their status in the Pro League with some decent results.
In the Premier League?
Yeah, in the Premier League with some decent results.
And of course, Coach Sunday Rele Susi is the man in charge of the Rising Stars. He believes it's not over yet. He believes they can bounce back.
Yes.
And let's also state that in the Nigerian Premier League, transfer windows have opened. Players are moving from one club to the other. Teams are strengthening their squad, getting ready for the crucial second round of the season. And we want to use this opportunity to also appeal to the Nigerian Premier League that this is the time to sort out.
Yes.
This is the crucial round. This is where
sort
it happens.
Out all the issues. as
this
the
is where teams are desperate.
Yes, as the team are trying to, unload excess cargo, the NFF too should be making sure they are clearing all their excess baggage. Make sure
the Nigerian Premier League particularly.
Yeah, make sure that nobody is trying to creep into the back door as it happened in times past. I hope that all games get to be played on the field, and whatever pending decisions need to be made, maybe on on outcome of games and all other issues should be sorted out. Yes, should be sorted out right now so that we can focus on the second stanza of the league and see where we go from there.
And of course, for Shooting Stars, they are happy with the way they ended the season, not happy with the way they started it, and so they are planning that they want to continue to maintain the form that they ended the season, the first round of the season, with, so that Shooting Stars stays up and doesn't go down.
Yeah, hopefully they get to do that. The last few results they've got was okay, and I hope they'll be able to maintain their status. This is a team you shouldn't be hearing about this team in the lower cadres.
They should be challenging for the title.
Yes, being on the continent, so much history about 3SC, but they've not really lived up to what they've been in the past.
All right, so let's move away from the Nigerian Premier League now and go to what I'm sure all of you have been waiting for. That's UEFA Champions League. Let's start by talking about yesterday's game, showing you the result of yesterday's match. Real Madrid went to the Allianz Arena, had a taste of what it takes to play there, and of course also have an idea of what they could be probably coming up against in the final match.
They might just be coming back. They might just be coming back. I felt so sorry for Bayern Munich. They should have nailed
But they won the game.
They should have nailed the coffin. Real Madrid had an uncharacteristic bad outing.
Yes.
First half was good. Second half, they went to sleep. I'm so surprised. I mean,
they were defensive. They were very cautious.
The man had his game.
There
was a second leg to play at the Bernabeu. There was the El Clasico on Saturday. They had to reserve their best for the last, and they were lucky on the night. There was a penalty call that wasn't given. The foul on Ribéry before the first goal should have been a penalty. Mario Gomez, on my count, lost 3 goal-scoring opportunities.
Madrid also had some chances as well.
It wasn't as clear-cut as Bayern.
So they should have had a more comfortable win.
Yes, if they had taken their chances, if they had been more clinical.
For you think Madrid will finish off Bayern in the return leg?
They definitely will. Knowing the astuteness of Jose Mourinho, I felt he came into this game
just to get an away goal,
get a draw or get a result that will be okay, because his mind is clearly on
Saturday's game.
Because he must not lose that game. He must
keep the 4 points.
Or at least draw, whatever happens. So I think that played on his mind. And Chelsea today too will be in such situation. They have their minds on the game Saturday. They're thinking of next year's Champions League. They're playing Barcelona at home. I mean, a mountain too high to climb, if you ask me. And going back to this game, I felt so sorry for Bayern, because they should have used that opportunity. Nail the coffin. You don't get such chances against Real Madrid except on their bad day.
Okay, today, Chelsea against Barcelona. Everybody will be waiting for this one.
It will be a miracle.
And as you said, fantastic day for Chelsea, average day for Barcelona. Could give the London side an edge in this one.
And unfortunately,
but then you ask yourself, can Barcelona have 2 average outings in 1 week?
Yes. We'll wait to see.
But this is football. This is football.
It will surprise me if Chelsea wins, and they will make me hit my words. But even playing at home doesn't count for anything with Barcelona. You might be losing the game.
All right, so that's how we have to wrap it up. We're looking forward to that game tonight in the UEFA Champions League. Massive game at the Stamford Bridge. But let's close the show by taking you to the Allianz Arena. I like to see how it happened yesterday when Bayern took on Real Madrid. Enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye now.
This run in Munich extended to 18th game as a late Mario Gomez goal saw Bayern Munich claim a 2-1 first leg advantage.
Khedira. Lovely ball through from Ozil. Benzema's in here, and that's a terrific save from Manuel Neuer.
Just didn't get an angle on the shot, did he, Benzema? Made it a little easier for Neuer, but he did catch the shot without question. And it is a clever ball from Ozil.
Lahm, Robin again.